rate cuts, new all-time highs, intraday flash to the downside. What is going on in the market? This is why we are here. Hey there, Tamio from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. So let's see what the SPY and the rest of the market brought us in the past trading day. 14 hours, less than 14 hours since the first rate cut. 25 basis points or maybe 50 basis points or maybe no rate cut at all. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What will be the decision? SPY ended up the day closing 0.04 green. Intraday, new all-time highs, intraday flash to the downside. This is how it looked. On the intraday, 15 minutes. We open up with a gap to the upside, moved sideways, then flash to the downside, and sideways move throughout the rest of the day. Always zoom in, zoom out, and only then you will get a better point of view of price action. Now, the 560 area is the support. It was resistance, now support. Breaking below 555 will be the next support. Long continuation, and we will see 574 and 583 to the upside. RSP, the equal weight, once again into the yellow trend line. This yellow trend line, as long as price of RSP is stuck to this trend line, whether from the upside or from the downside, the way is up because this trend line takes price up. Now the 175.71 is the support. Below it, we are going first to close this gap over here at the 175 area. We can put a line over here just to help us identify that there is a gap to the downside. We have another gap to the downside over here. Maybe after a decision, these two gaps will get filled. We have a doji after 4 consecutive bullish days. Doji of a trend line might represent a pullback. Be careful, always protect the downside. The upside, the gains will take care of themselves. QQQ also ended up the day on the zero, went all the way up into Fibonacci resistance, the 476.73, and to this trend line. Once again, trend lines and Fibonacci, great example of why price follows trend lines and Fibonacci. On the positive side, 471 holding a support, below it 466.80 and 462. Long continuation above the 476, 477, and we will meet 485. Dow Jones ended up the day, another new intraday all-time highs, and then went back down. 415 area now from resistance to support. Below it, this gap will get filled. 2 consecutive dojis on the Dow Jones. Fear of heights, or is the Dow preparing for some kind of a pullback to close this gap? IWM ended up the day with another doji to the upside, 0.83% to the upside. 218.15 is the support. Below it, 215.50, and then closing this gap. Long continuation above the 222, 223 area from resistance. Maybe breaking to the upside, and then 227 and 233 to the upside. MAGS, the Magnificent 7 ETF, continues to move sideways in the past 4 trading days. 44.61 holding a support. 45 area is the resistance. Breaking below the 44.60, we will see once again the 43.70. Long continuation, and we are heading north. 46 and closing this gap at the 46.60. SOXX, nothing much on the days, 0.12 to the upside, still struggling with this trend line that helps us identify the lower highs since the peak of July, and we are still inside the yellow zone. 5 consecutive days we are inside this yellow zone, and as long as price first is inside the yellow zone, there is no price action. we need to wait for a break above the 224.30 area, and then we can start taking long slowly towards the 230 and 237. Second, we have mixed signals from the FTI, which means no decision in the market, and of course we are still below this higher time frame downtrend line. Next, we have Apple. Ended up the day, another doji on Apple inside candle. You know this trend line? Of course you do, because you follow me on every video that I make, every daily stock market review, every weekly review. You follow me, you know this trend line, and another perfect proof of how price follows trend lines and support resistance of Fibonacci. This trend line continues to be support, but it's support for the lower lows, which we don't want this kind of support. First, we want to see Apple breaking above the 218. Above the 218, we will see going into closing this gap at the 221, 222 area. This is the only positive thing that I see now on Apple. We have a gap to the upside, and we know that more than 85-90% of all gaps will get filled. Microsoft 8.88 to the upside, went all the way to the 44.42 to the upside, and then flashed to the downside, closed the gap, morning's gap. This is how it looks on the intraday. Once again, always zoom in, zoom out to get a better point of view of price action, and then you will see what happened. We opened up to the upside 2.15%, and then slowly went down, closed the gap, and then just moved sideways throughout the rest of the day. Now the 432 area is the support, long continuation above 441.85, and we are heading north 451, 457, and even maybe 467. Who knows? This double bottom scenario on Microsoft is still validated. NVDA ended up the day with 1% to the downside, red on the day. And as you can see, in the past few trading days, NVIDIA is stuck inside the yellow zone. So no price action, no decision from the market, which means we cannot decide. We need to sit and wait to see where market will take NVIDIA. What do you think? NVIDIA will break this downtrend line that holds resistance for the lower highs since the peak of June, or bulls will give up, and then this red trend line that holds the higher lows since April will break to the downside. Anyway, we need to sit and wait for confirmation. Breaking up, we have all the Fibonacci levels to the upside as future potential resistance. Breaking below the red line, we have all the Fibonacci future support. The FTI, one click away, will give you. Join the Fibonacci Traders Discord, the gold membership, and you will gain access to all Discord channels and of course to the amazing tool, the FTI, the only tool that will help you identify with up to 85% accuracy where price might be heading next. Always ask yourself, what if? Look at AMD, ended up the day 0.83 to the downside, still holding the 150 area, the upper border of the yellow zone. Now, what if AMD will break to the downside? Next support is the 146. Below it, 143.54. What if AMD will continue to the upside and break the 155.64? We will see 162 and then all the way up to close the gap at the 174 area. SMCI another day to the downside, 2.16% to the downside. No price action whatsoever on SMCI. What if it will finally break the 477 area to the upside? We are going 85% chance to close this gap, breaking below the 439 to the downside. We are back to the 382. This is how we trade. Always, what if? What if to the downside? What if to the upside. Tesla ended up the day green, 0.5, almost 0.5, but we broke price, finally intraday, broke the high of this candle, but got rejected by the 235. Look left, trade right. The 235, support, resistance, resistance. Once again, intraday resistance. We still wait for Tesla to close above the 235, to close above this candle. And as long as we will not get a clear close and a clear breakup above this candle, we don't take long on Tesla. When I say we, it's the Fibonacci Traders Discord. The Fibonacci Traders Discord will give you all the tools that you need and more to become a successful trader, to make money. Once you join the Fibonacci Traders Discord, you join an elite team of traders, day traders, swing traders, options, crypto, special requests, chats, whatever you want, all the news that you need. You don't need to scroll Twitter. You have everything here. Everything, just one click away. And of course, once you join the Fibonacci Traders Discord, you will gain access also to the FTI. Join today and start seeing results. 222.60 is the support on Tesla. Below it, 215. Netflix continues to the upside, 1.5% to the upside. 699 is the support. From resistance, now becomes support, long continuation, and we will see 711 and 723 to the upside. Bullish on all time frames on Netflix. Google 0.8% to the upside, all the way to the upper border of the yellow zone with a doji. Now, my alert to go long on Google is closing above the 161 area, the upper border of the yellow zone. 158 is the support. Below it, we have the lower border of the yellow zone, the 155. Palantir, another green day, 0.4% to the upside. And look, once again, perfect example of how trend lines are the true roadmap for future price action. This red trend line, you know it because we drew it few weeks back and we did not change it. And when I say we, it's me. Why I talk to myself? Plural? No idea, because we are Fibonacci traders, you and I. We are together in this. We help one another to make sense and see things much clearer. This trend line from resistance, it's a good resistance. Yes, there is such thing as a good resistance. This trend line was a good resistance for the higher highs. Now, from resistance, look at the past 2 trading days. Support. As long as price of Palantir is stuck, glued to this trend line from the downside or from the upside, it doesn't matter. This trend line takes Palantir to the upside. Now the 35.40 area is the support, long continuation, and we will meet 39 and 40, 183. Let me know in the comments below where Palantir and 2024. Can we get 50 on Palantir? Amazon ended up the day 1% to 1.08, sorry, to the upside. Once again, trend line, resistance for the higher highs, intraday higher high, all the way to the 189.45. Fibonacci resistance. Fibonacci FTI gives you everything that you need. It was resistance, 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 resistance. Not surprising. Amazon intraday went all the way to the trend line, got rejected by the same trend line that rejected price over here, the same trend line rejected price over here, once again rejected price over here with a Fibonacci. Meta ended up the day 0.57 to the upside with a doji. Too many dojis before rate decision? Someone knows something? Why do I say it? Because doji is the most significant signal for what might come as a trend reversal. In this case, all across the board, it's a doji after a few days of an uptrend. Meta needs to hold a 525.65 to the downside. Otherwise, 85% chance 513 gap will get filled. Long continuation above the 544 resistance, intraday resistance. Long continuation, and we will see 557 and 574. Eli Lilly ended up the day another red day on Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly looks bearish on the short term, 1.9% to the downside. We also got today sell signal. Now the 890 is 892, 893 is the support. Below it, Eli Lilly will go and retest this yellow trend line, the lower border of this amazing broadening formation. AVGO almost 1% to the downside, third day in a row. Trend line resistance for the lower highs. 158 now is the support. Below it, 153.66. Long continuation on AVGO. In my opinion, we need to wait and see at least 2 trading days closing above this yellow trend line. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all been waiting for. The stocks that caught my eye in the past trading day, we need to watch them in the coming few days. First, we have Sentinel-1. Closed the day 7.5% to the upside. Closed the day at the high of the day. Broke above the upper border of the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation. 25.43 above it. This gap, 95% chance will get filled. UPST, 7.3% on the day. Once again, starting to curl up towards the 39 and 40. 32 area needs to hold the support. N-phase, ENPH, 6.3% to the upside, bullish on all time frames. Look how the FTI gives you perfect, almost perfect, nothing is perfect, but support, resistance. No other tool that you have here, indicator or tool, will give you this kind of accuracy. The only tool that will give you this kind of accuracy is Fibonacci. And of course, if you don't know how to draw Fibonacci, you don't need to. This is why I developed the FTI, to make my life as a trader easier, to get to see price better, to get a better point of view of price action and any time frame that I'm trading. And it will give me buy signal, sell signal, where to go, where to put my stop loss for long. We have the green label over here. No need to think. If I'm short, we have the red label for stop loss for short. What's going on multi-time frames? And of course, the Fibonacci by itself. It's calculating the Fibonacci support and resistance by itself. ENPH long continuation above Tuesday's highs, above the 119 area towards 123. ALAB, Astera Labs, with some kind of a multi-bottom scenario over here, broke above the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation. 47 and 50 to the upside, above 50. 90% chance we are heading north to the 58. Groupon GRPN with a massive potential for this double bottom scenario. Once again, look at the last candle. Doji inside the yellow zone, went all the way up to the upper border of the yellow zone, got rejected and went back down. Now I want to see continuation. When I say continuation, I want to see break up and a close above the 1272, preferably 2 trading days above it, and then 1330, 1406, above 1406, 16 and 1750 incoming. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you find it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. I assure you, you will find what you're looking for. Until the next video, stay safe.